So my journey of chai started back when I was in college, and it's one of the drinks that I always wanted to bring to my shop. However, one of the things that stopped me is people coming in wanting chai latte or heaven forbid, chai tea. Oh my God, those just make me I just get infuriated whenever I hear them. I'm like, stop calling it chai tea, okay? If you're one of my viewers that say chai tea, please stop. But if you're following me, I'm more than certain you're more than educated to know you should just call it chai. Or you want to call it masala chai, or you want to call it chai, like, starts with a K, like, I can't remember, it's kind of like a Middle Eastern version of it. Anything but chai tea. Chai latte, I don't like that one. I'll let you slide over chai latte, but never ever chai tea, okay? One of the things that kind of stopped me from doing it is those type of people, okay? Honestly, that's probably the biggest reason why I never introduced chai to my menu. A lot of people that I know who drink chai, they get from Starbucks, they get from cafes, they get from places that are not authentically made. Those are the people that I'm like, you know what? If I bring this to my shop, I feel like they're going to think of the wrong chai and they're going to think my chai is bad. Or they're going to try to explain to me why this chai is not good. And I got to look at them and be like, Becky, I'm sorry, this is not Starbucks. We make real chai. And that brings me to the point of this video. What is considered chai? All right. And I know it's like, who am I to say what real chai is? But I do want to say that I'm pretty sure everyone who does drink, real authentic chai, we all could probably agree on very specific things that would basically mean, it's authentic chai. So to back up real quick, let's talk about chai, okay? So for those that know and those who may not know, chai basically means tea, okay? There are all the Desi languages. Chai just means tea. Now then, the great thing about chai is that there's so many different variations across all the different regions in both South continent of Asia and the area like in the Middle East, okay? So there's numerous variations of how to make chai. And with each variations, it even drops down to like local villages, okay? Now then, with all these chai, the one thing that I notice a lot of them have is that no matter which brands they do, no matter who makes it, they all basically contain cinnamon, they all contain, maybe cardamom, they may contain acai stars. There's so many different things you could throw into a chai. Even though we all have different ideas of what those spices are, I would argue there are two ways that makes chai very unique and different, okay? And these are the two that I think that would probably down the hill, all right? That'll make chai, okay? So the first one, all right, is not the spices, okay? Don't get me wrong. The spices do play an important role, and so does the type of milk that we do. However, though, as I kind of alluded earlier, is that each region does their own variations of what a chai is. Some of them use cinnamon sticks, some of them use cardamom pods, some of them use cumin is another one I've seen. Anyway, so there's a lot of different things you can throw into a chai and a lot of different proportions and a lot of different flavors you could do. It's not limited to just what you see at the shops, okay? It's not just the cinnamon. It's not just, those stars. There's other stuff you can also throw into there. Having a lot of different spices in the chai is great. But the one I think is even more crucial than that is a type of black leaves. In order to have really good chai, you have to make sure that the tea leaves are CTC, okay? Crush, tear, curl. If you don't have that, if you go use any other type of black tea, you just won't produce the same type of results. So because the CTCs, they actually have more caffeine packed into every single tea packet compared to a loose leaf one. And the amount of tea leaves that you're using from the CTC is actually much denser than what you get when you have loose leaf. If you try to do chai with loose leaf black tea, with the same method I'm about to talk about in step 2 of what considered chai, you still may be able to produce similar type of results, but it still won't be the same as if you just went and got a brand that does CTC chai tea leaves, okay? I just said chai tea. I don't know why I did that. You can use a lot of different variations of the black tea family. So you could use Assam, you could use Earl Grey, you could use Ceylon. If you get like a loose leaf black tea leaf, it still won't produce the same result as a CTC, okay? So with CTC, a lot of the brands using like variations of the black tea leaves, they might do a combination of all of them. Okay, but if you went and got a loose leaf version of those black tea leaves that I mentioned earlier, it still won't produce the same. Just make sure it's CTC, okay? Simple as that. There are numerous brands out there that you can get that does this already, all right? The one that I've been using is this red box, I think it's called Red Label. And the second one that I kind of prefer is Taj Mahal. That's the one I've been using for the past, I don't know. I think I switched to that brand for a little over a decade now. I know it's a basic brand, and there's a lot more Indian brands out there that you could get, but Taj Mahal is like the most accessible one I have in my area. So yeah, so CTC, okay, not HTC or THC, CTC. All right, number 2 thing that I believe that really makes chai is one that I would never do with black tea typically, the brewing process, okay? So I know there's a lot of different ways of doing it, but for my friends and me, and for most of the YouTube creators out there, to make good, authentic chai, bringing the tea leaves to a boil and really infusing it with the milk. That's something that I see that works the best. So it doesn't matter if it's a double boil or if you boil it, let it simmer, and then boil it again, or whatever it is. The thing that you want to make sure is that the brewing process for this, they're really infusing the black tea with the milk. If you just let the black tea seep in the water and you don't really try to boil it or really infuse it with the milk that you pick for it, you just will get a very, very light tea taste. Unlike milk tea that you get from, like boba tea shops, it doesn't really come through well. I haven't actually figured out kind of method behind this, but when I try to do, let's say, a milk tea, and even if I throw in all the spices and that I want for it, it still doesn't come to the same flavor profile as a chai would. With the milk, and you brew them together and you fuse them, it really accentuates the flavor of it and it really disperses evenly throughout the entire drink. I tried, a few different methods of, oh, maybe if I do the black tea, I just throw this in, like, the loose leaf one, not the CTC, and I, fuse it with the milk. It gets kind of close to it, but you can definitely tell it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like a knockoff or so. But yeah, so what do y'all think? Do y'all agree with my thoughts on what, constitute as a chai? Or do you think there's something else that I missed that over exceeds all of this stuff? I'll just type it down below. Let me know. If there's something else you want me, throw my 2 cents at, holla at me too. Either one's fine. All right, deuces.